The first time she said it, the words cut sharper than any knife. Your touch is bothering me. Move away. We were sitting on the couch, the evening sun spilling weak light across the room, and I froze, my hand inches from hers, unsure whether to pull back or demand an explanation. Her eyes avoided mine. The tone wasn't angry or hurt. It was detached, clinical, almost rehearsed. That alone unsettled me more than a yell or a fight ever could. I could feel the room close in, every familiar corner and object suddenly foreign. Move away, she repeated softly, and for the first time in years, I felt a disconnect so profound it startled me. I withdrew my hand slowly, carefully, as though touching her now might fracture something irreparably. I sat there silent, trying to understand. I had never touched her in a way she didn't welcome, or so I believed. Every hug, every caress, every kiss had been returned with warmth. Until now. My mind raced, parsing memories for signs I'd missed, for missteps I couldn't remember taking. She glanced at the TV but didn't turn the volume up, didn't even pretend to focus. I need space, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Please. I nodded, my throat tight. There was no arguing with that, no negotiating. Not tonight. Not ever again, it seemed. I left the house that night without another word, leaving behind the life we had shared in silence. I didn't check my phone, I didn't look back. The streets were empty, the cool night air biting at my skin, and I felt both liberated and hollow. For hours, I walked without direction, each step echoing with memories of intimacy now tainted by rejection. By the time I returned home the next day, my phone was buried under a pile of unanswered calls. 50 missed notifications, all from her. Each vibration felt like a drumbeat of guilt, of desperation. My chest tightened as I scrolled through the missed calls and messages. Please come back. I need to talk. I didn't mean it. I didn't respond. Not yet. I needed clarity, distance, and above all, honesty. That night, I sat alone in the living room, letting the silence stretch, feeling the absence of her touch in every corner. The house felt different, almost alien. Every object, every photo, every small reminder of years together seemed to mock me with the intimacy we had lost. It was then I noticed the little inconsistencies. The emails left open on her laptop, the late-night messages she quickly closed whenever I entered the room. The faint perfume she wore that didn't belong to her usual scent. The hushed laughter of someone on the other line, abruptly cut off when she sensed me near. The realization hit slowly, painfully, like a frost creeping over a lake. She wasn't merely seeking space. She was hiding from me, from us, from the vows she had once whispered with so much certainty. I didn't confront her immediately. I watched, waited, piecing together the small signs she left behind in her rush to conceal the truth. Each lie, each evasion, each carefully constructed excuse built a picture that made my stomach churn and my heart ache. The next night, she found me on the porch, smoking in silence. Her voice broke through the darkness. I didn't mean for it to go this far, she said, stepping closer, hesitant. I was lonely and you seemed distant. I didn't flinch. I didn't speak. I just let her words hang between us like the dense night air. I never wanted to hurt you, she continued, tears glistening, eyes wide with fear. Please, just talk to me. I took a slow breath. The rage, the heartbreak, the betrayal, it all bubbled to the surface. You hurt me, I said finally, voice trembling but firm. You betrayed me in the most intimate ways. You pushed me away, lied to me, and now you expect... what? Forgiveness. She shook her head, trembling. I don't know. I just don't know. I interrupted. Do you understand the gravity of what you've done? The trust you shattered. The life you almost destroyed. Her hands fell to her sides, trembling, but she didn't move closer. She knew, finally, that proximity wouldn't fix the fracture. My disappearance had been deliberate, my silence a mirror of the distance she had imposed on our marriage. For days, we existed in this fragile standoff. I continued to retreat, leaving her messages unanswered, phone calls ignored. The house grew quieter, emptier, filled with the ghosts of intimacy that had once defined us. I watched her panic, the repeated attempts to reach me, each one a testament to the control she thought she held, now slipping like sand through her fingers. Eventually, she confronted me again. "Please. I'll do anything. I shook my head. "It's not about doing anything anymore. It's about realizing that actions have consequences. You chose to distance yourself, to push me away." I simply reflected that back. The silence that followed was heavier than any argument we'd ever had. No words could undo the months of secrecy, the lies, the withheld affection. She finally understood that I had removed myself, not out of anger, not out of spite, but to reclaim my sense of self, to protect the heart she had tried to diminish. Weeks later, I moved my life forward, embracing friends, hobbies, and small moments of joy that I had ignored for the sake of a marriage unbalanced by deception. She continued to call, to text, but the panic in her voice no longer shook me. I had learned the hard truth. Sometimes the most powerful action is silence, the deliberate withdrawal from someone who has chosen betrayal over honesty. And in that withdrawal, I discovered something I hadn't felt in years: peace. The weight of her rejection, her deceit, no longer dictated my days. I had disappeared, yes, but in doing so, I had returned to myself.